manage the rate of the sugar. This is like
Okay, let's go with our next screencast on properties of matter. The last one was on composition of matter. Let's discuss the different properties. Okay, properties of matter, they can be chemical or physical. Chemical properties or physical properties. Okay, one way to remember physical properties. Okay, it's that the ability to react, ability to roast, ability to burn. Example of physical properties is color, size, mass, volume, density, malleability, ductility. They are all examples of physical properties. Chemical changes as a result of a reaction. A new compound is made, resulting in new and unique chemical and physical properties. If you react iron with oxygen, it will give you rust. This is a chemical reaction. You have a new substance. You cannot go back and form iron from it. So those are the indicators, those are the sign, those are evidence for a chemical change. Bubbling, that's mean formation of a gas, all right, without adding heat. Formation of a precipitate, you start with two liquids and a solid is formed. This is a precipitate. Color change, you did not dilute it, did not add more water to make it lighter, and you just see suddenly a change in color. For example, you may start with two clear liquids and you see a yellow substance at the end. So this is an indication of a chemical change. Change in heat, if the reaction absorb heat or release heat, there is a change in temperature. Therefore, you know this is a sign of a chemical change. Let's pull out some example from our skunk, and then you decide if we should put it on the physical or chemical change. Two clear liquids are mixed and the result is a yellow color. This is a change in color. This is a chemical change. Okay, sugar dissolve. You take the sugar, dissolve it in water to give you a solution. It is a physical change. You can get your sugar back if you vaporize or you evaporate the water. Break a pencil in half. It is a physical change because it is still a pencil. You did not change the identity of that substance. Red Kool-Aid is mixed with green, resulting in a new color. This is a physical change. It's not that a color that you did not have before just appears. Bubbles appear when Alka-Seltzer is dropped in water. This is formation of a gas. Therefore, it is a chemical change. Let's see. This keep on coming back and it won't stay. Two clear liquids are mixed and the result is a yellow. We already had this before. This has to be a chemical change. So let's move on. Okay, evaluate whether the following four processes are primarily physical or chemical change. Let's use that eraser to check our answers. A baking soda releases carbon dioxide in water when heated strongly. This has to be a chemical change because you have formation of a gas, which is the carbon dioxide. Melting antimony and tin together produces powder. This is a physical change. It is a change in state. You melt from a solid to a liquid. It is physical. Rubbing alcohol cools your skin as it evaporates. It's still alcohol. You just change your your skin. There is a vaporization. There is a change in state from the liquid alcohol to gas. It is a change in state, therefore it is physical. A piece of zinc is placed into a solution of hydrochloric acid and bubbles begin to rise to the surface. It is chemical because you react the zinc with the hydrochloric acid, it will form zinc chloride and hydrogen gas. There is formation of a gas. Water turning into steam is a change in state from liquid water to gaseous water. It is physical. Gasoline into a gas, they are both physical changes. It is true. Dissolving is a chemical change. It is not true because if you dissolve sugar in water, you will still have a sugar solution, and if you vaporize the water, you can get the sugar back. Okay, let's talk about physical properties can be intensive or extensive. Intensive means properties that have nothing to do with amount. Extensive have to do with amount. Let's pull out some example from the skunk and you decide where to put it. If we have mass, does mass have to do with amount? Yes. So it is therefore extensive property. Size has to do with amount. It is extensive property. See if we can find more. Ductility. It doesn't matter how much copper I have. If I say copper is ductile, it doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with amount. So this is an intensive property. Volume has to do with amount. Therefore, it is an extensive property. Density. Even though density is mass over volume, mass is extensive, volume is extensive, but density is intensive. Doesn't matter how much water you have, the density of water is 1 grams per milliliter. Malleability is intensive, has nothing to do with amount. Malleability is the ability to hammer into a very thin layer. Okay, we already did ductility, it won't stay. Let's see if we can find more example. If I have ductility again, we will move on. Color is intensive. If you have a sheet of paper that is white, it doesn't matter how much paper you have, it's still white. Therefore, it is intensive. Alright, the ductility won't stay. Let's move on. Okay, let's pick up some definitions from that title and place them, match them with the right term. Solid that separate from a liquid, we said precipitate. So I would advise you, after each definition that I pull, I would pause the video, try yourself without me to match it with the right term. How readily substances chemically combine. This has to do, let me give you a chance to pause the video and then you double check your answer. It is reactivity. See your next one, resistance to flow. Okay, pause the video. Alright, is viscosity. When you say a substance is very viscous, that means it does not flow easily, just like syrup. Characteristic altered with a change in composition. When you change the composition, it is a chemical change. It's no longer that same substance. Characteristic altered without changing in composition. Without a change in composition, this is a physical change. Okay, usually a change in state, temperature at which phase changes occur. It is melting from liquid to solid to liquid and boiling from liquid to gas. Okay, temperature at which phase changes occur. Let's see. Characteristic observed with a change in composition. It is a chemical properties. Let's see if we can find more definitions. Characteristic observed without change in composition. It is physical properties. Let's see. We need two more. Two more before we check our answer. There's one here. Ability of heat or electricity to flow. This is conductivity. So metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. There is one more here. Let's see if I can find it here. Right here. Ability to be hammered without shattering. This is malleability. Let's see how close we are to the right answers. They are all right. You can give yourself a pat on the back. Okay, good job. Okay, let's see if we can pull out some properties here. You tell me what to put it. React with oxygen. It is a chemical property. React with bases. Chemical property. The acid react with base to produce salt and water. React with acid. It is chemical. React with water. Okay, the alkali metals like sodium react with water. It is a chemical property. Neutralize bases. Acids neutralize bases. Neutralize bases. This is a chemical property. Heat conductivity. It is physical. This is a property I can check, I can measure without changing the identity of the substance. Freezing is physical. Okay, it is just a change in state. If I freeze water, it will still be water in a solid state. Ductility, ability to pull into a wire, it is a physical property. Neutralize acid, it is a chemical property. Let's see if we can find more. Malleability is physical. Ability to hammer into a thin layer. Rusting is chemical. So when iron react with oxygen from the air, it will produce rust. Combustion is a chemical property. Combustion, burning. You take a hydrocarbon, react it with oxygen from the air to produce carbon dioxide and water. Volume is physical. Let's see, find more. Texture is physical. Solubility, physical. Hardness, physical. Do we have more? Density, physical. Magnetism, physical. Alright, more. Taste is physical. You can check the taste without changing it. Odor, usually physical unless you produce a new substance that has a new odor. Luster, shiny is physical. We do metals or lustrous, they are shiny. Melting point, physical. I think it's enough practice for this. Alright, let's pull out a few examples from here. Formation of acid rain. Okay, it's a chemical change. We have substances that will go into atmosphere, react with the acid, the rain to produce acid rain. Formation of a solid from when formation of a solid when honey is cold. It is a physical change. Let's see more. Vaporization of solid carbon dioxide. It is a physical change because you are just changing the state of the carbon dioxide from a solid to a gas. Solid to a gas. That's what we call sublimation. Dissolving salt in water It is physical. You can get your salt back if you vaporize the water. Let's say getting a haircut. It is physical. Did not change your hair. You just cut it. Change size. Lighting a candle. Okay, this is burning. Is a chemical change. Is combustion. Okay, evaporation. This is a physical change. It's go from a liquid to a gas. All right, digesting your food, the food you